What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new ESP LTD Alexi Laiho signature guitars that debuted at NAMM 2026 this year. I was very privileged enough to go into the ESP booth when it was closed off to the public, and then I was able to actually see both of these guitars out on display. And I wanted to make this video and tell you what these guitars are all about. When I was at the booth, I was able to talk to Tony Rouser. He is the product manager at ESP. He brought these guitars back in collaboration with Alexi Laiho's estate, which is going to be his sister. And so all the information is coming from my conversation that I had with Tony, and that's literally right from the source itself. So let's get right into it. Also, two brand new guitars right away. I know a lot of us were not expecting that. If you saw the teaser photo, you might have seen like a 6-in-line headstock, gold tuners, and a signature that looked very close to Alexi Laiho's signature on the headstock. Initially, I thought that was the only one we were getting, assumed it was just going to be the Arrowhead, and I was correct with that. Had no idea we were also getting the Sawtooth, which was another very, very important guitar for Alexi Laiho. And he played both those guitars for pretty much his entire time with ESP and Children of Bodom and Bodom After Midnight. And it's very cool to see these guitars in the North American production since they were never available in North America before. The only way you could get these guitars in North America was either ordering an Edwards or an ESP custom shop like right from Japan, or going to Japan, getting the guitar, or maybe even going to Mulsalmaima in Finland, getting the guitar and bringing it into North America. Otherwise, we've never had the Arrowhead or the Sawtooth in this particular paint scheme like Alexi had in his touring rig until right now. Now let's quickly talk about the specs and features of the guitar. We have an alder body with a maple neck through design. These guitars are also going to have the North American body shape, so they're not going to have that short horn that a lot of us like and Alexi had on a lot of his guitars. This is so ESP is not going to infringe on any sort of Jackson Randy Rhoads trademarks. These guitars are also going to have a Floyd Rose bridge, an EMG HZ H2 pickup. Alexi had all of those on his guitars. We're going to have 24 nickel frets on an ebony fingerboard. There's fingerboard binding on it. The inlays and the graphics are going to change depending on which guitar that you are going to be buying, and you're going to see on screen the differences, which are pretty obvious. These guitars also have the upper frets scalloped on the guitar, which is super sick. This has never been seen before on the Alexi Laiho signature guitars in North America. These have only been seen on the Edwards and the ESP Standard and the ESP Custom Shop models. I'm very excited about that because it's the first time that I believe LTD has ever done that for the North American guitars, and those scallop frets make playing leads on those higher frets so much more easier and so much more effortless. It's just a very great experience to play guitars that have scallop frets. Alexi also had this on his guitars as well, and that's another thing that Tony wanted to mention, is that they really wanted to get these guitars as close to Alexi's guitars and what he would want as a player in his particular guitars. Moving up to the headstock, we got a Floyd Rose locking nut. The hardware color is going to change depending on what color you get. We have non-locking tuners on both the guitars. You don't really need locking tuners when you have a locking bridge and a locking nut. Alexi's signature on the top of the headstock. When you flip the guitar on the back, there is going to be an Alexi Laiho 20th anniversary SE logo. And that 20-year anniversary signifies when the very first Alexi Laiho signature guitar was released, and it's just crazy to think that it's been 20 years since that first guitar has come out, and just seeing all the different models and the variations that this guitar has been through. The neck is also not painted, so you can see the raw wood that it's used to make it. It also has a light satin finish as well, which makes for soloing and just overall playing and maintenance so much easier than a gloss finish for a lot of us players. I personally can go either way with a satin or a gloss neck, but having a satin finish is a very nice feature as well. These guitars also ship in fully molded hard shell cases, which is, again, a very awesome thing as well, especially for being a big pointy flying V style guitar. These guitars are also retailing for around $1,800 US with a case. A lot of money at the end of the day. It's a very high spec and well built guitar. It feels just like my Edwards or maybe some of the other high-end LTD guitars that I've played in my time. All of these high-end LTDs feel really great, although just the price of entry now for a very high spec LTD is, it's another thing to talk about. But now the one thing that we're going to be missing from this guitar is the ESP MM04 preamp. And I was talking to Tony about this and just quickly asked him, like, why not have this, or why not have the EMG ALX set in the guitar as opposed to having scallop frets? And a lot of it just comes down to money. By the time you factor in the cost of the EMG ALX set, either at cost or however much EMG is going to sell that pickup to them for, or factoring in the price of the ESP MM04 and how much they would have to add to the current price of the guitar on top just to account for some additional hardware. And when you're adding additional features like guitar preamps and other signature gear on top of a signature guitar, you're just going to drive the price up further and further, and it just makes makes that guitar more out of reach for most players. So at the end of the day, there is a trade-off in terms of keeping the guitar at a relatively affordable price point. Something else that Tony and I talked about is the fact that these guitars have SE in the title of those guitars, and that means special edition. So when a lot of us think special edition, we're thinking it's going to be a limited run, it's going to be 50, 100 pieces, or however many pieces, and then it's gone for good, and then the used market does its thing, and now they're double in value somehow. Now, that's not the thing. Tony confirmed to me that these guitars are going to be made for a very long time. They're going to be made until people just stop buying them. It's not going to be like that limited pinky version that was available in North America with the big pink pebbles. There was only like 200 of those made. Those go for really good money now because of how limited they were. Whereas these ones, even though they are special editions, they're going to be made for a very long time until people just want something different. And the fact that they have special edition in the name, it ties into the 20th anniversary of the very first Alexi Laiho signature guitar. So they really wanted to tie it all in and make this a very special guitar and a commemorative guitar, which is an awesome thing to do to honor and celebrate Alexi's legacy because he has impacted so many of us in so many different ways. I also had to ask him about any future Alexi Laiho models, and he more or less said that there's going to be more Alexi Laiho guitars coming. He can't really say which finishes are going to be coming, but it seems like the line is coming back and it's going to be done in a really proper way. It seems like we're probably going to get some old finishes back, which is going to be really sweet as well. I'm assuming they will have the same specs and features as what we have right now with the special edition models, except the only thing that's going to change is the different graphics, maybe the different inlay colors and things like that. It makes me really hopeful for the line going forward. I should also mention there was no talks of having an official ESP Alexi Laiho like Arrowhead or Sawtooth model for the North American market. You can get those guitars through the Japanese domestic market. You just have to look through specific dealers, and you can also look through Muselmaima in Finland if you are in Europe and you want to get one of those Alexi Laiho guitars that he played with those very iconic finishes. And that's pretty much it for these guitars. I am very excited and thrilled to see that these guitars are coming back. We got some original finishes that were never available to North America, and now they are back. And again, like being a huge Alexi Laiho fan, it just makes me feel like good at the end of the day, and makes me feel like I want to buy one of these. Alexi's sister and the estate are involved in making these guitars right, and it's not like a cash grab or anything like that. These guitars are done right, and yeah, I would totally support it because there are so many people that were close to Alexi who are on board with it, and it seems like ESP is really wanting to make it right and really give back to the fans, especially with bringing back some models that were never available to the North American market, and especially at the LTD point. And that's going to do it for today's video, checking out the brand new Alexi Laiho signature guitars from ESP Guitars and the Alexi Laiho line itself and what is to come in the future. If you like this video, let me know down below, especially your thoughts and opinions on the new Alexi Laiho guitars. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, make sure you hit subscribe. I've got tons more videos like this, bringing you news, doing Guitar Hero deep dives, doing gear reviews and gear deep dive. So we do all those things down here. And make sure you hit that bell on the way out so you don't miss a single video that I upload. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.